What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I just want to first off thank everyone that is new and subscribe just to check out my videos and everything. I really appreciate all the support for everyone that just joined, as well as the original people that were here too. So this week's episode, I'm going to be finishing up my 240z Fender. So I got a piece all bent up. This is a challenging piece to make as well, just because it's curved right here and then it flattens off. Looks like it's coming out good so far. This is just strictly weld here. So once I grind that flat, it should look pretty nice and follow the curvature of this, what is supposed to be an overlap. So now I gotta cut the rest of this out right here. Gonna make a square, cut out of it, mesh it into this. And I also have this, I just bought this because it's $6. Faster to have this pre-cut piece. I'm gonna be blocking off these side marker lights in the front. Not gonna be doing it in the back just because I like the way that it looks in the back, but the front I think it kind of just throws it off. I'm trying to make it a little bit more neater looking when it's all done, so I'm gonna do that now too. Alright, my camera ended up dying, so had to quit filming for a couple minutes there. As you can see, I patched up everything up here, followed this curvature right, reinforced this a little bit. Got to grind everything down. This doesn't look too pretty here. And then on this back side, I have to make this even right here, and then I have to form a lip that curls over, so then I can make another hole, because remember, kind of comes around and there should be a hole right there on the bottom as well as right there. So let me do that next, and then I'll probably end up filling this in too with that patch panel that I bought. Next, I got to weld on this bracket. I put on weld through primer on both the back side of the bracket and this piece that I put in here. I'm not really too sure what this is for offhand. I got to put another nut on the back just because that screw was all in there and couldn't get it out. So I'll weld another nut on there, find the right size bolt, and see what it's used for later. But I already measured the other one, have a reference point on this other side here that was never damaged at all, so I know exactly where to put this one at. Okay, so this is my Harbor Freight 240 volt spot welder that I have. Used it a couple times before. The only complaint I have so far is that this cord is way too short, so I might extend that. But other than that, it works pretty good once you line up these two kind of electrodes. So you just spread it apart. You don't hold it on there long at all. Just clamp it where you need it. Don't put too much pressure and just flip this button. And just like that, got a spot weld, so I'll do a couple of these. Make it strong. Do one more. Here's what it looks like on the other side. This one I held just a second too long and it burned through, so I just welded that back up. But these 5 right here, they're all pretty good. Another complaint I have, I didn't mention, was the weight of the thing. The spot welder is about 40 to 50 pounds, so it is kind of weird to maneuver around in different areas. But other than that, it works good for what it is, and I like it so far. Okay, let's next put this side marker delete plate on, get that over with, and then I'll start fixing this other random rot and stuff around here and these edges and everything. So let's get to it. So like I mentioned, I just bought these from, I think it was Z-Car Depot. Not worth the time to make this yourself, and these are like $6 a piece. So I gotta grind all this off the edge. Make sure you don't forget to clean this up. I think this is like stainless steel or something weird. You can weld stainless with MIG, no problem. So yep, it is stainless. I'm gonna have to hold it by hand because you can't use a magnet on it. Tack one place at a time that you know is definitely even with the panel, and work your way around. You could always bend this back. Okay, got some grinding done. Came out pretty smooth. Not really any warpage at all, besides there's a low spot right there. You know, that's nothing more than a glaze coat of not even filler, just some glaze putty. On the home stretch here, just got to do these brackets, and then I got to figure out, I forgot about this bracket down here, so I'm gonna make something up with that, and then fix this little rotted out piece as well, right here and right here. So basically 3 things to do now. This is the last part I gotta do before I finish this fender. So I'm gonna throw this, you can see it's all crudded up here. I'm gonna throw this in the sandblast cabinet that I have here, and then I'll reform this edge right here, and then spot weld it on using the spot welder, and then I'll start making this bottom piece here. So let me show you what this blast cabinet looks like that I have. So this is just a Harbor Freight sandblast cabinet. Modified it by putting, can't really see because it's so dusty in there, but modified it by putting in a light. So it just plugs right in. So I could actually see inside here now when I'm blasting. You do have to seal it. This thing sucks from, stock. It leaks everywhere. So I sealed all around the edges and everything like that. It still leaks out a little bit, but it's better than nothing. And the most important piece after you do all that, I'm using this Cool Slag media. This is the fine grit from Tractor Supply. So let me work on this and I'll show you what the part looks like after I sandblast it. So I just painted this real quick, just with some primer here, this rusty metal primer, just to hold me over until I'm ready to epoxy the whole thing. So I also threw on 2 little beads here to hold this because this was sliding out just like how this was. I also fixed this edge here and then added a little piece of material right here. And then now I can finally spot weld this in. So weld through primer on that, as well as this. The weld only penetrates through where the weld through primer is. So if you use this paint and you try to penetrate, it's not going to, even if you put weld through over this. So, just weld through over bare metal and then weld it. So this is bare metal with weld through, and then this was bare metal with weld through. So we tack this in place with the spot welder, and then I'll be able to make that bottom piece and be done. Still got to get the timing right. I held this one down for a little bit too long, blew through it a little bit, but other than that, it's just hard to maneuver around tight corners with that big old spot welder. So I'll probably reinforce this with a little bead and then build the bottom. All right, so I'm not gonna be able to make this last piece all one piece. So what I'm gonna do, I know this is flat, curves kind of at an angle. So once I get this tacked in place, I'll just build off of that and make the slope off of that as well. So just a bunch of little pieces are going to be tacked together to make one unit to make the curvature correctly on this. All right, well that turned out pretty decent. Ended up doing 3 different pieces. So that one that I went down here, like you guys saw, I then added one of these in, or excuse me, 4 pieces, added one of these in, connected the 2 with a little triangular looking piece, and then I did this last piece right here, which I have to drill a hole through, just to be like that one right there, has a slight bend to it. So it's too tough to do in one shot. Sometimes you just have to piece it together like that. I'll put some primer on this in the meantime. I'm gonna clean this all up and do some epoxy primer on it. So this primer is just temporary right now. I also reinforced a couple different spots so this doesn't pop out this way again. Nice and sturdy. You can see this side of it slopes down pretty nice. And there's that. left the gap there just like the other one. Overall, turned out pretty good. You saw me grab that headlight bucket. I just grabbed it just to match it up. Pretty good everywhere. I might have to mess with this little piece a little bit, if you could see that. It's up just a little bit. Raised this part up a little bit too much, so I gotta tap that down, and then this should be good to fit the rest of the way in. I know that was kind of repetitive pertaining to this week's episode as last week's, but I just want to go in order. I don't want to skip any steps. I want to finish what I do. I hate jumping around on different areas of the car, so I definitely want to finish each one of these panels up before, so that was the reason why I just continued this. But stick around for next week's episode. It's going to be pretty fun. I'm going to be doing the replacement frame rails, so it's going to be stock replacement for the 240Z. I'll be flipping it over on the rotisserie that I made, and we'll be spot welding all that in, and then I'll be seam sealing some stuff too, so I'll show you all that. I appreciate you guys, all the new subscribers. We're at 30 now, so that's pretty cool. You know, it's awesome that 30 people want to watch what I do to this car, and really appreciate all the support, and as always, have a good rest of your week.